Hi, we are live. I'm Susan McConnell, your LinkedIn for the Reserved Champion. And we're here today, every Tuesday, and we're here every Tuesday actually, for dangerous conversations about business. And every week, I have a different guest to light up your network with actionable items to help you grow your network, fix your life, do different things that we all can't do alone. So it's that together we have it all. And so today, my guest is Eileen Murdoch. Eileen, I met through a common group that I was in, and we just sort of bonded over that period of time. And she's amazing. She is energetic. She's optimistic. She's an entrepreneur. She's in the contracting industry, and her passion to serve and knowledge of the market's changing needs directs her towards a higher standard of customer care. She's helping people get things done up in her world. Her empathetic and nurturing approach makes her stand out not only as a female leader in her industry, but also as an empowering figure for those seeking confidence and the fortitude in their professional and personal journeys. And she is definitely someone I'm so happy to have here today. So welcome, Eileen.
Thank you, Susan. So wonderful to be with you.
Yes, yeah, you too. This has been great. Been dying to have you on forever. We went through that class, was a mastermind class, and it was really, really awesome. And it's kind of a lot of things that you learn about people and how hard they try and how much gratitude they have in their life. And you're definitely one of them. So if you're here today and
Thank you.
you're welcome. If you're here today and you have questions for Eileen, show me in the chat or send them in the chat. I'm happy to answer your questions because here on live, I can't tell actually who's on, but people watching can actually tell. So that's one of the things we probably need to fix. Maybe that's my tip for today. So Eileen, tell me how you got into starting Prairie Pro Developments.
Yeah, so it's not that long of a story because it's only been about 4 years since Prairie Pro has been in existence. So
Wow.
in 2018, I started this business. My husband had become sick, and I was looking for a way to provide for my large family. He had a business, but I wasn't in the place to really take over at that point in history. I did have some skills in the trades. I grew up with a lot of family members in the trades. My husband has worked in the trades as well for many, many years. And I had a lot of experience in sales and a lot of experience being a mother and being a leader in my community, working with women, being a leader of groups, and a lot of things that kind of just came to a head and pointed me in this direction to start my own business. So I'm just really grateful. It's a lot of grace that has brought me this far, and I look forward to many more years to come.
Yeah. And like I said, if you have questions for Eileen, you can either put them here in the chat if you're watching us live. But if you're seeing this when it's recorded, Eileen's here on LinkedIn with me, and that's how we met. So you can ask her questions there. But it's such a great story. You're talking about, I guess, in essence, as almost like following your gut or just kind of going with like that inner sense of confidence, how you picked Prairie Pro. Am I right on that? Or
Yeah, it's really interesting. I had a friend of mine a couple years prior to starting my business that had asked me to help out getting them some business because they needed new clients. So I really took that and ran with it. I was just at the end of my pregnancy with my son, that's almost 5. And basically, I just had that steam to start looking for clients. So the first thing I did was I hopped on LinkedIn and started a profile and started to meet people and started to learn. And so I really do credit my experience here on LinkedIn with a lot of the skills and relationships that I've formed over the past few years. many of my subcontractors, many of my clients have all been a product of LinkedIn. So it's been an awesome support network. As you mentioned, we can't do this alone. And I
No.
definitely have felt that here.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm just going to interrupt you for one little quick second because it looks like, just so everybody knows on this broadcast, LinkedIn looks like it's having difficulties connecting for some reason. It said it's a LinkedIn thing, but guess what? We'll be on replay. And I told everybody in the chat to jump over to Facebook or YouTube because we're there as well. So it'll be cool.
Awesome.
It's fun.
Oh, that's great. I didn't know you realized that you were on Facebook and
And
what was the
yeah,
other one?
right. LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube.
Perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
So, and I did post a comment. Let me just, yeah. So it's not even letting me get onto LinkedIn. So that's okay though. I will
That's all right.
repost it to LinkedIn, and I hopefully, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just throw a quick note in here because we're still live, and I'm going to throw it in on the post just so everybody knows because I feel like people don't, you know what I mean? They're going to be like, oh man. And I'm just going to say, so you know what, while I'm doing that, Eileen, tell me, a little bit about what you do at Prairie Pro.
Yes, we serve Calgary, Alberta. We are located in Canada, and we serve commercial and residential clients for interior and exterior property maintenance. So our goal is to be a one-stop shop, and that's what really helps us to stand out in the industry because our clients can call us for close to any matters that they have, any problems that they may have, but also any preventative maintenance that they would like to perform either in their commercial buildings or in your own personal residence.
That's great. So typically, like, who are your typical clients?
Yeah, so we do have a number of residential clients, as I mentioned, people that have reached out to us, either have seen me on social media or by word of mouth. We have a lot of that type of business. And also, we work with property management companies, with realtors, with people that own a business that perhaps have an office that needs to be cleaned or a building that needs to be maintained as far as plumbing or handyman, the irrigation, landscaping on the outside. So there's lots of different clientele that we have,
Wow.
but
Yes.
the number one
That's
thing
good.
is that we can do a number of services that we perform. And
That's awesome. So
yeah,
residential and commercial,
yeah.
and you'll kind of take on projects. So obviously you work with a lot of people in the trades. You don't have people that directly work with you. You just kind of bring in the right people that people need. You kind of like the spearhead, the head manager, or you're the project manager, I guess. Is that?
Yeah, so it's neat because I have made so many contacts throughout the years, as I mentioned, with men and women in the trades. So it's kind of neat to be able to form these relationships and work some more regularly with and some on particular projects. It's a great opportunity
Yeah,
to just broaden my network.
absolutely. I agree. It's great. And like I said, you can, start with somebody in residential and end up doing their business or, and then obviously I'm sure you do a great job and you get a ton of referrals. I'm almost positive
Mm,
about that.
thank you. Yes, yeah, I'm
So,
really grateful. Yeah.
yeah. So what knowledge and experience has led you to working with, the trades?
Yeah, so I guess I kind of mentioned that at the beginning, that I grew up in a family of trades, and my husband was in the trades and still is. And also, just through my experience over the past few years, I've just I'm learning continually, and it's neat because you know we all want to be experts in our industries. And that requires continual training and continual learning and experience. So I am really grateful because I'm meeting with a fellow subcontractor on a site and walking through a property, and I'm just learning and taking in, soaking up all of this information as we're, say, looking at a possible plumbing situation or uh, a break, some type of situation that needs to be repaired. And I take it all in, and then I take my notes back, and I'm just constantly learning. There's lots of
Crazy.
courses and things that online, thankfully, that we have available to us, especially since COVID. Things that we can avail ourselves of, extra learning. So I've just been really grateful because it's something that has become a new passion for me that I didn't realize.
It's
And
awesome.
yeah, I've
Well,
just
it's learning about all these things that, like, when I was younger, it wasn't that cool for a girl to be a plumber or an electrician or know these and I used to go to the woodworking shop with my dad, and he taught me all these things. So he didn't obviously but care, but it's true, like you're learning things that I should say typically haven't been, I guess things that women really knew. I just wanted to show you that, David.
right.
We'll have to watch you on replay, and he's very sad.
Oh, thank you, thank you, David. I
But we wanted to give him a
appreciate
shout out here live. Well, we're live and on replay. He said he doesn't have Facebook. So now he is on Facebook, but just with us.
that. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
I know. I feel bad, but that's okay. It'll still be
Yeah,
live, and we still push it back out. But yeah, and it's true
yeah,
though, because I've my brother was always very handy, and I'm very handy, and at my house, I just actually sold my big house, but when there was
yeah,
issues, I like Googled it and fixed it myself unless I really needed to, someone that was an
right.
actual expert. So it's so cool that you're kind of in this industry, kind of like a pioneer. So tell me, like, why do you think women are needed in this industry, and how has being, a mother enhanced your skills and success in this business, and more
Yeah,
success to come?
right. Thank you. Yeah, that's a good question. I really I see women as having a different set of skills. We have, a special genius about us that is different from men, and it's really neat to see how these qualities can be played out anywhere, but particularly in the construction industry. We offer an empathy, a certain caring in our form of service that I don't necessarily always see with my male counterparts. So it's really neat because I just feel like I've added something new and fresh to the job site. It's just been really neat, and especially coming from myself, being a mother of 8 children, and we all as women have this gift of maternity, not necessarily by being a biological mother, but for actually wanting to care for people. And so I really take that into my business. I care a lot for my clients and for the people that work with me. It's just something that I see great results down the road when I put in that extra special attention. I just can't imagine that I won't continue to be successful if I continue on this path and keep putting in my feminine genius.
Yeah, I agree too. And I think that's actually part of your personality, though, because you are a mother and you're very nurturing, and I think you bring the way you are with your family to your business. And I think some people, and I remember this obviously from being in business for a long time. I think when I first started out, you didn't do that. You had to be professional and say the right things and do
Yeah,
the right things. And you didn't really show, like, if you were like, so people always tell me you're too funny, you're too this, you're too that. And now I get to be all of that. And it's kind of cool that we're kind of in this age where we can all do things and do whatever we want. And we can succeed like in our own way, being ourselves. And that's so cool.
yeah, I agree. I think, yeah, over the past couple of years, it's a good time to be in business, I think, because so many of these walls have been broken down and are being broken down, that what professionalism is and what it's not. And I think that combination of professional and personal life is just critical in our times. We really need to connect with each other and have that humanity piece. If it's not there, then it's just, business is not fun. I
No,
enjoy the relationship part of business. That's why I am doing well, because I actually
you know
like
what?
people.
I agree with you. That's exactly what I enjoy, the relationship piece of it. And I'm almost more likely to refer someone to someone else than I almost am to almost work with them, because I always find like, oh, you got to work with this person and you've got to work with this person. And I just enjoy putting great people together and having them, collaborate. And it's just, you're right. It's so fun to have the right people be in your business and be in your world and meet new people all the time. You said that. I love doing that as well. Um, so I'm going to ask your best advice question at the end. I want to talk a little bit about work-life balance, because you tell us your balance, because your balance is way more of a balancing act than mine. I went through all what you went through. I just not as
Yeah.
much. So tell me a little bit about it, because it's so interesting.
Yeah, it's as I mentioned before, it really is just grace. I really couldn't do it. I've been sharing some of my secrets to success on my LinkedIn over this year
Yes, you
2022,
have.
and I recently uh, let go of my most top secret is prayer. And as cliche as it may be, other people may consider it meditation or reflection, taking some time away from the world. It has been my absolute most important ingredient in my recipe for success, just in my daily life, to be able to see what's most important in that moment, because we all get distracted, right? The world is full of distractions, but what is most important in that moment? And of course, my motherhood comes before, and being a wife comes before my business. It has to. But at the same time, there is that give and take of, sometimes the kids, my husband know, like now I have to come on a call, and, this is part of my business and this is part of what I'm doing, as my purpose and mission in life. We need to know that. We need to
Yeah.
have that strong, firm position in our identity of what we are doing, who we are, and what our purpose is. I think that really compels me to see what I need to do at every given moment. I'm not perfect, but I'm striving, and that's what matters most.
So true, Eileen. And you just have such a good way of handling the bumps in the road. You've had so many. I've been through a couple with you, and I mean, like, I mean, what do you? I forget. You have, was it 8 children? Do I have that right?
Yeah.
8 children. I
Yes.
could never, in my wildest dreams, be as calm and collected and as wonderful as you are with 8 children and a business. So I give you an A+ today for that one, just
Oh,
because
thank
I
you.
just know me and I know my
Oh,
personality. But it's just amazing, like how much you have to give to probably all of your children, your husband, and your business. So it's just so cool how you find that balance and how you make that balance work. And it's very cool.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say when you put the things that are most important in life, when you put them first, like everything just falls into place. And yeah, there are those bumps along the way, but again, like I said, relationships are so important, they matter.
Yeah.
And the relationships we have with the people that we love are extremely important. And it automatically pours out into all that we do.
Yes, it's so true. You're right. If you put what's important first, then it falls into place. And know you're not perfect. Know you're going to make mistakes, and that you can learn and grow and develop from all of that. It's just amazing. You're amazing, Eileen. You are
Oh,
every day.
thank
And I put it in the comments. So hopefully that'll move its way over to LinkedIn. Um, to do check out your posts, because you know, I see you in my feed just because I see you all the time, and like I said, your posts are amazing. You're very inspirational, and you know, everything. So who can we give you a shout? And like, do you work with businesses just in in Canada? Tell me a little bit about your market, so that if I have anybody in my network that can reach out to you, I do have quite a few. Is it just what is it,
Yes.
a certain area,
So
or
currently we're just in and around Calgary. Yes.
I'm sorry, actually it froze a
So
bit.
currently we're just in and around Calgary.
Calgary. Okay, great. So yes, I definitely have a few people in my network from Calgary. So everybody, they all reach out to Eileen and get
Excellent.
that,
Thank you.
and get in touch with her. And so for our last question, what is your best advice you can give to someone looking to start a business?
Well, I guess it's going to sound repetitive, but knowing your why and, you know, knowing that purpose and mission, because it's not easy to start a business. It's not easy to maintain a business. And like I said, I'm only 4 years almost in the making, and it's going to take much more effort to continue this into many more years to come. But if you know your why, if you know the reason why you're doing what you're doing, then you can always go back to that. You have hard times, you're tired, you're just pushing through, barely making it by a string, and you go back to why you started to do what you do and why you love doing this. What, you know, what, why? It's cliche, but it just makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, it's so very true. It is knowing your why, knowing why you do something, because when things don't work, you go, well, why am I doing this? And then it's not that why, but it's the below the why, I guess,
Right.
that, you know, kind of
Yes.
helps you.
Digging deeper.
Yeah, digging deeper, and just knowing that, you know, so maybe I got to change a little direction, but it's still my why. It's still like that whole, like you said, serving people, helping people, and learning, and growing, and enjoying
Yeah.
it while you're doing it. So it's very cool. Awesome. Well, hey, Eileen, this has
Yeah.
been awesome conversation today. Thank you so much. And for all you LinkedIn people, you only get to see it on replay. So please comment and get in touch with Eileen. And again, join me every week on Tuesdays, hopefully on all three: Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And I have a different person on every week. And next week I have on Natalie Nathanson from Magnitude Consulting. And I've known Natalie almost since the first or second networking event I ever went to. So 9 years I've watched her develop and grow her business. And she's in marketing, and she has a lot of advice. So it's going to be great. Awesome. Hey, again, thank you, Eileen. Thanks, everybody, for joining us, whatever channel we find you on or you find us on. And have a great Tuesday. And we'll be back next Tuesday at noon.